Because I Said So. It's a parental favorite capable of answering why without really answering why. Broken Age's Vella and Shay may be separated by space and time, but they're united by their inability to accept that classic deflection as an answer. That's the catalyst for Broken Age, Double Fine's lovely, funny new adventure. Well, half an adventure, but we'll get to that. As thrilling as it sounds being the sole human inhabitant of a galaxy-hopping spaceship, teenage Shay is bored. He's eating the same food every day. He's seeing the same views. The automated missions he's sent out on were made to entertain the child he no longer is. Fellow protagonist Vella would probably be thrilled to swap with Shay. In fact, she'd be happy to be anywhere other than her home of sugar bunting, where she's about to be sacrificed as an amuse-bouche for the demonic gargantuan Magchathra. You can flip between the two at will, but you don't have to. You could theoretically play the story of one character to completion before switching, but it's nice to be able to swap when you're frustrated in this kind of adventure game. And what kind of adventure game is this? Well, classic, for lack of a better term. Click where you want your character to go, find an item, figure out how to cleverly use it in the world, progress. That's easier than it sounds. We've seen this sort of game go wrong before. Broken Age skirts that fate with really well-balanced, smart puzzles that are never so obtuse as to require a hint system. There isn't one to speak of, but challenging enough that I took my fair share of breaks to stare at the ceiling and wish I was smarter. Where the new Double Fine adventure surpasses the classics is in its lush presentation, which creates the illusion of a world I'd be happy to move to, or at least vacation in. Art director Lee Perry seems to have brought a storybook to life, and the soundtrack, performed by the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra, is a stunner as well. It looks and sounds great, but the real secret weapon of Broken Age is Schaefer himself. His knack for creating grounded characters that approach absurdity and adversity with the same brave, heartfelt sincerity gives Broken Age the kind of depth that's so often lacking in other funny games. Schaefer's not working as hard for laughs as in his previous games, but that makes them all the more welcome when they come. Being completely spellbound as I wasn't prepared for the game's first half to come to such a sudden halt. This is just Act 1 after all, with Act 2 due later this year. But finishing this first half is less akin to finishing an episode of Telltale's Walking Dead, which do a good job of closing threads by each chapter's end, and more like closing a great book halfway through and deciding to take a few months off. That said, and maybe I'm a sadist, but I want you in this same agonizing intermission I now find myself in. Broken Age may be unfinished, but it's also delightful, beautiful, utterly charming, and you really should play it right this second. Because I said so.